Hello and welcome back to Evolve with Dr. Laura Basha. It is September 15th today, and I am doing one last excerpt from my book because the book is now out in print. Yay! It is available if you're interested in purchasing it. If you've enjoyed the little excerpts that we've done here and the videos, you can purchase the book on Amazon. You can purchase it through Barnes & Nobles. You can download an e-copy from Kindle, and you can also purchase the book through evox, through this network, as well as the publisher Ex Libris. So there are many different ways to get a copy of the book if you would like to do that. I would love for you to get a copy and let us know what if it was a contribution for you, what you got out of the book, how it was for you. Also, I'm in the process of putting together some book signings. I know there will be one in Oakland in December, early December, and I'm working on putting one together, either another one in November or October. So you will be getting announcements as to when those are going to be taking place. And if you would like, I would be happy, more than happy, to autograph a book for you and meet you. So keep tuned in to evox, and also you could check my website, Whitebird Rising, www.whitebirdrising.com, and or just Google the Inward Outlook or my name, and you can get a copy of the book. So today, in the last excerpt of the book, I'm actually going to read a section from Chapter 7. And Chapter 7 is the silence. It's actually one of my favorite chapters in the book. And so I thought I would just do a simple author read and share a couple of paragraphs from that chapter with you. All healing transmutation takes place in the silence. Through the practice of quieting the thinking process, we can turn our attention away from the cacophony of incessant thinking that passes through, and practice listening to the quietness, listening to and for the silence. There is a sound to it. Listen for the profundity of the silence. It has a resonance. It has a frequency. Listen until you hear it, as it is equally everywhere present and always available. We look at each other through it. Cultivate an affinity with the source, with the silence. It is the only ballast that we can depend on, and it requires no guru outside of yourself. The silence is the guru, and it lives eternally through each of us, waiting to receive our attention so that it can find expression uniquely as us, every individual. All hopes are possible manifestations through cultivating this affinity with the silence. Now, I was fortunate enough to have a spiritual teacher for many years, the Reverend Catherine Jarvis, and I reference her a couple times in the book. In fact, I've dedicated the book to her. She was an extraordinary human being, and I'm very grateful I got to spend about 15 years studying with her. And one of the things that she would say occasionally, which I have quoted in this chapter, never tell anyone they can't do something, for God may have been waiting for centuries for someone who didn't know that. There is an evolutionary benefit to cultivating a state of mind that is permeated with a deep and unflappable sense of knowing that in spite of all appearances to the contrary, there is hopefulness and an inherent order which moves toward positive change. Such knowing augments a life in spite of circumstances, in spite of conditions. As an individual cultivates this stance, this intimacy with the silence, there is a resonance of hopeful certainty which permeates his or her presence and is felt by others, elevating the mood, however subtly. So when the mood of yourself, the mood of a friend, the mood of a group of people you're in is elevated by your cultivating an affinity with the silence, there is a higher quality of thinking available. There is access to insight and brilliance and solutions to problems. So practicing cultivating an affinity with the silence, you call it meditation. You could practice sitting and just noticing when your thoughts, take over and you're paying attention to your thoughts and you go back to listening for the silence. There are all sorts of methods for practicing the silence. Cultivates an affinity, a kind of default setting that you have available to you in all situations. So I hope you've enjoyed this short excerpt. It's posted on the site as well. And I really look forward to seeing you next month. I hope to see you at one of the book signings. And, keep watching evox because we will have an announcement of those book signings. And there also will be a link to a website for the book. So thank you very much. And I wish you a very pleasant rest of your day.